Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's been a hot minute. It's your boy VillosaurusWrex. You're listening to the Nights of the Round Records episode. We don't remember because it's been 3 fucking months since we've done an episode.
Should we start over from season 2?
What's that? Season 2? Is this
Season 2, episode 1. Since it's been a break.
Season 2, episode 1.
That was a good call.
Of Nights of the Round Records. Last time we did an episode, Mark had hair and a girlfriend.
God damn it.
He's got neither one of those at the moment.
What an opener.
To the right of me, as always, the homie Biggie. What's going on, E?
What's poppin', B?
Across from me, as always, that slippery fish, Bass. What's the deal, Bass?
What's Gucci, man? Not much, man.
Man, to the left of me, as always, Charles.
Good to see all you guys again.
I missed you guys.
We're missing Rudy.
Miss you too.
Unfortunately, he's got some shit to do today. Can't hate on it. Do you think?
Busy man. We all are busy folks these days.
That's why it took us so long to record.
Everything's
another
off the
one.
top these days. You know?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So, yo,
Sorry.
so since the last time we spoke, since the end of season 1, I guess that's what we're gonna call it.
2.5 months ago, it's been
Man.
a breaking season.
We've got some fucking music drop, you know. And to be real with y'all, we recorded an episode in between this. We just never dropped it, and it wasn't even like we were talking about an album or an artist or anything.
Anything really.
We were just
Was it
kind of
a
just
brand
catching
new?
up on music, you know. And we're just kind of bullshitting, just talking and stuff. So, excuse me.
Phone's on silent, please.
My bad.
That's pretty much all we did. But yo, since the last time we talked, what have you been listening to? E?
The new ASAP single.
Yeah.
Chief Keef
Mm-hmm.
came out with a mixtape. I think last week. Wale has a new. Well, I don't know how new it is, but I just barely found it.
It's complicated?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's dope.
Is it new? How new is
No,
it?
it just dropped like
fairly
probably
fresh.
3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So I'm not so late on it. All right, and then believe it or not, I've been listening to that new XXX Tentacion.
Man,
I was giving it its fair shake.
the old college
The old
try.
college
The old
try.
college shake.
Something like that, yeah.
And of those, which have you been feeling the most?
Ooh,
Don't mean to put you on the spot like that.
man, it's tough because they're all good in their own way. But if I had to pick one, I would probably go with one actually that I didn't even mention just now. But DJ Esco, he came out with that Colorblind tape or
Yes.
album mixtape, whatever you want to
That's-
call it.
You mean the future tape?
Yeah, the future tape featuring
Featuring
DJ
Future?
Esco. Yeah, that one. It was pretty fire. So that's been on my heavy rotation lately.
Word. Bass, what have you been listening to, man?
Earth Gang just dropped Royalty, which is not even like the full album. They dropped like 2 last year and then 1 this year. It's like only like 6 or 7 songs, real short and stuff. But they're building up to they're dropping another album. It's supposed to be summer this summer.
Honestly, man, I
But they
didn't
keep
even-
like throwing hints about it. But I've been bumping a bunch of that, a bunch of old stuff I hadn't listened to in a while. A lot of Sean Price. Been fucking with him for a long time. R.I.P. He died last year, but
Yep.
I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of scattered stuff. The Black Panther album was pretty sick.
Was pretty fire.
Finally saw that movie.
You like it?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, you need to see that, man. You're sleeping.
And Charles, what have you been listening to, my man?
Oh, if you think about it, the last time we dropped an episode was the 25th. And I remember you saying, if I get picked tonight to pick this album, I'm picking Culture 2 because it comes out tonight. That was the 26th. So it's
That was a long time ago.
That was January.
That was so. Culture 2. I want to say that because Culture 2 is the next one. Paranoia 2 from Dave East. That one's been a big one. New Little Boat. I've been listening to it. I'm not gonna say it's like the best. So let me get there.
You know, hold on, before you finish though, that brings up a really good point because it's something we were talking about yesterday. We went to the store together and we were talking about mixtape artists versus mainstream artists because I dropped a little meme in the group chat that was like, "Yo, Wiz's Cabin Fever was better than Kush and OJ and a couple other joints on there and stuff like that."
It didn't have Kush and OJ on there because.
Oh, that's right. Because that was the one that I picked, and I was like, "Nah, Kush and OJ's Flames." Like, because in my opinion, everything after Deal and No Deal was trash from Wiz. But that's just me. That's neither here nor there. But that's talking to this right here. this was album boat. You know, this was album Yachty.
Mm-hmm.
How'd y'all feel about album Yachty versus mixtape Yachty that dropped on QC a few months back?
But is that really mixtape Yachty? I mean, that was a thing about that kind of confused me because that wasn't really a mixtape to me.
Let's put it
It
this
was
way.
it was a compilation album, you know,
album,
but still, like it was still a mixtape in my opinion.
Let's put it this way. I like Yachty on other stuff rather than I like Yachty on his own stuff.
I'll tell you.
So you like feature Yachty?
I like feature Yachty. I mean, a lot of Quality Control was a mix of. Oh, he opened the Nerds rope, the Sweet Tart rope, guys. I mean, like I said, a lot of feature Yachty. Like if you think about it, it's just like that Quality Control tape. He was on there.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Majority of the time.
Yeah,
I mean, I dig it. I like Yachty a lot. He's grown up in the last like 2 years. So
that's what I liked about that. The Lil Boat 2, you could see the growth that he's had in the last little bit.
yeah, like you can tell it's not that like initial.
You know, and I'm not knocking album Yachty at all because like I dug a few songs off that album, but like I think it kind of goes back to what Mark was saying over here. You know, feature Yachty better than full track Yachty. You know, like I really liked him when
you could take him like in a small dose.
I almost spelled this wrong. Oh my bad.
By the way, if you catch us in Austin next weekend on the 14th of April, we're gonna be there at the Crit Show. You know, us wilding out doing our Cottercast thing. If you find a $100 bill with our hashtag on it,
We didn't write.
it wasn't us, and don't try and go spend it nowhere because it ain't real. Trust me. I got that shit off a Wish for 84 cents. I ain't playing with that. All right. So moving on. Who else are we listening to?
As much as I think it's corny as shit, the new Logic, and I'm into it.
I haven't listened to
That
it.
goes back to
I haven't listened.
that goes back to mixtape versus album thing. I think everybody Logic was trash, but Bobby Tarantino Logic, you know that's the Logic we want to hear. That's the Logic that's for the people. And speaking of Logic, I don't know if y'all seen that new. Sorry, man, we're eating candy on this podcast.
You're gonna be real annoying, my bad.
So yeah, Raptured. It's that new series on Netflix where they're talking about life behind hip hop. You know what they do on the sidelines and stuff like that. Logic was the first episode, and never been a huge fan of Logic. Dug his shit in the past. Everybody dropped. There's a couple alright tracks on there. He had the Cole feature on the end, which wasn't even a Cole feature if you ask me. But Bobby Tarantino too washed that Logic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew a whole new respect for him watching that, cause just the way he is with, his fans and people and stuff like that. Like to see a hip hop artist still doing that out there, that's something cool. Who else?
Black Panther album is a big one.
Of course.
And then just the stuff I've been listening to the past couple of years.
So on the real, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I've been listening to Young Dolph's Niggas Get Shot Every Day.
True.
I've been listening to that a lot. I was listening to the new. Of course, I've been listening to the Black Panther album. A couple tracks off that are pretty fire.
I got one I want to mention just because I'm surprised none of y'all else did. The new Weekend project.
Dude, actually,
I don't know. Would we consider that hip hop?
well, it's kind of thrown in there. I mean,
He's in the mix,
he's brought
for
up
sure.
Chris Brown.
Yeah, but I mean, this
If-
album I really wouldn't consider it.
Chris Brown's not hip hop, but we brought him up before. I mean, not me, but I mean, like he's kind of in that realm. You know what I
Breezy
mean?
raps, though, I'm not saying we can't talk about Weekend. I mean, trust me, I listen to the album too. That's not what's on rotation, but I mean,
Well, it's already brought up. Let's
let's
talk about it.
let's talk about it. Let's do it.
Whoever gets slicked, then we
Nah,
can.
hey. He done brought it up.
What do I think about it?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I've been listening
Well,
to
I
the
mean,
Weeknd.
yeah, I listened to the fuck out of it, man.
Put you in your feelings?
Yeah.
Dude, it
Actually,
did.
no, it didn't really.
Awesome.
I couldn't really relate to that kind of shit because like I'm just not on that same wave. But it was some good ass music. The production of it was really good. The beats were all fire, pretty much. Mark in the group chat had said it was like the old Weeknd, like his back.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can't tell you because I didn't really fuck with the Weeknd when he was first popping
until
off.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
It was
basically,
basically emotional,
I slept on the Weeknd bad.
Yeah, me too.
emotional, kind of hurtful. The dude has problems, but he's in love. That's exactly what his first like.
I'll tell you what though,
Dude, this made me feel sad and made me relate to stuff that's never even happened to me. I was all damn. I was just throwing scenarios in my head. I was all damn.
It made me feel like Selena Gomez broke up with me.
Yeah.
yeah. That's basically. I was like, God damn.
I think Van said that.
Yeah.
But man, I agree with him though. It just
that's basically how it was. I was all damn. Yeah, because I never really fucked with him before.
So yeah, been jamming Prime 2, DJ Premier, and Royce the 5'9". They dropped their collab again because they've done it before in the past with Prime 1. This is Prime 2. The other one that I've been listening to like crazy is Rich the Kid's The World Is Yours.
Same.
Man, from the last time I heard Rich the Kid until now, that little dude's grown, like musically. Like,
do you mean like New Freezer, or you mean like something you heard before that?
Like stuff before that, like
Okay.
Mixtape Underground, Rich the Kid, like barely popping on the scene, stuff like that. Because New Freezer's on here, you know.
Yeah, I was just curious what you meant.
But he also had, you know, some pretty good features on here. Kendrick Lamar, Future, Khaled, Rick Ross, Chris Brown, Quavo, Offset, Wheezy, Trippie Redd, Sway Lee, like. Homeboy's doing his thing, you know.
I'm looking forward to the new Ray Shremmer that comes out Friday. I'm hyped as shit for that. Triple disc. I'm gonna.
It's triple disc.
It's triple. It's Sway Lee did an album. It's
the other one.
Slim Jimmy did an album.
Whoever the other guy is.
I had the other one on tip of my tongue. I just couldn't say it. Slim Jimmy did the other one, and then it's a Ray Shremmer album.
No disrespect. Yeah, Shrem Life 3. I'm not sure if if they individually named their solo albums themselves, but I think the collective is Shrem Life 3.
Yeah. And then Bobby Tarantino too. I've been jamming that too. I'm not gonna lie. There's some tracks on there, and then it starts off with a feature from Rick and Morty, which I'm a huge fan of. So that really helped me get into the album.
Of course, Logic.
Yeah, Logic was on Rick and Morty, you know.
Of course.
But
of course he was.
Why wouldn't he be?
Yeah, that's a good show.
Who doesn't know that?
All right. So the last time we had picked something,
Been sitting on it for 2.5 months.
Man, and how convenient that you are in the position that you are now, because you weren't in this position whenever you picked it.
I know, right?
Since
The
then,
position I'm referring to is that Mark is fucking single.
Since I
Because
picked this last album.
we ain't gonna diss the girl, but we're just gonna say that he ain't with her no more. And hashtag if you want, you know, fuck a bitch. Not her, but just fuck a bitch.
I was gonna say, I'm not saying shit.
Yeah,
I'll plead the fifth.
I
just
don't know.
just hashtag fuck a bitch, and that's just for any bitch that's been in your past. And I'm not calling you a bitch because I think you're a bitch. I'm calling you a bitch because I don't know you personally. I'm barely even know your name, so I'm just throwing it out there like.
Holla if you hear me.
So church on that.
I haven't heard that one in a minute. Church on that.
So 808s and Heartbreaks dropped in 2008. It's right under an hour long, 51 minutes, 59 seconds long. It was fourth studio album by Kanye West. During this album, he was going through some really tough times. You know, he just lost his mother, and he was experiencing a lot of Kanye West-esque type things.
Normal everyday life, basically.
Yeah, for sure, man. 808s debuted #1 on the Billboard Top 200, selling 450,000 copies in its first week. Did some shit, was real good. Recorded in Honolulu, Hawaii, with No ID, Jeff Basker, and several other stuff on there.
Thanks to No ID.
Yeah. What do you do when you lose your mom? Like,
Cry.
yeah, you go out there and you lose yourself. And Kanye goes out there and makes an album. Puts his feelings on his shoulders. So Mark, this is your album. I'm gonna let you talk about it a little bit, and then we're gonna get into what we normally do. So Mark,
so I picked this album. I really wanted to pick a Kanye album.
Damn, sorry.
And if I were to pick a Kanye album, this would be it. I get this talk all the time with the Bill about.
You did pick it.
Yeah. So this is the one I picked because I'm saying this album is the one I picked. I could pick
all the other
ones.
You're on drugs.
I honestly think this is Kanye West's best album, and I will take that to my grave. Would this be the one I picked to listen to for the rest of my life?
He says this is Kanye West's best album.
In my opinion.
You are. Let the debate.
Hold on.
And that's why That's why I wanted him to start talking on it.
You are fucking
Okay,
high.
no, what, hey, but this isn't the album I'm going to listen to if I
You're
pick one
high.
Kanye album for the rest of my life.
Then how is that? How is this your favorite Kanye album? The number one Kanye album? No, let me finish this because you're over here saying this is going to be the one I listen to last. This is going to be no. If this is your favorite Kanye album, this is number one out of all the Kanye albums ever dropped, compilations or not. This is your number one. This is the one you take to the grave. This is the one that you go swinging out on.
Okay.
It still remains?
Yes.
You are fucking high.
This is the
You
album.
are on drugs,
This is the album.
sir.
Okay, here, let me specify
Yo,
why.
Sir.
Yo,
Hold on.
I put a 9 to your head right now and say, Mark, you get to pick one song to listen to before you die. You're picking something off this album?
I'm picking fucking Heartless.
Didn't you know?
I want to go out like a. I want to go out like
This motherfucker said he's going to listen to Heartless.
as I fucking
crazy.
go out because that's been my entire fucking life. That album. That not song. That particular song.
Is there a running
Lyric-wise.
count on how many times he talks about his love life?
But it's how it always fucking happens. I don't understand how. But it always does.
We need to get a bell.
Anyway, okay. I give this album. This album is probably one of the most underrated albums of the last 10, 11 years since it's been out.
Definition of underrated?
Didn't get the recognition it deserved. And I say
How?
that.
It sold almost 500,000
Okay, look,
copies
but
in its
look
first
what else.
week.
Look what else came out 2008. You had the Carter 3. You had Paper Trail. You had Ill Trill from Bun B. You had fucking Recession from Jeezy. You had quite a bit that came out that was the norm, like the bar.
But
for
who
rap.
else sold 500,000 copies?
Well, here's what I'm saying. It didn't get the playtime it deserved. It didn't get the recognition, the Grammys and stuff it deserved, in my opinion.
But that's not what Kanye West was going for with this album.
I know that, but that's just
Kanye West wasn't going
that's
for
just a part of what I'm
He
saying.
wasn't going for, oh, this is going to put me trophies on the mantle. This is the, I'm pouring my heart out.
That's
This
what
is
I'm
my
saying.
heart
That's
on
why
my
I
sleeve.
think
This
it's
is me
underrated
being
because no one
heartless.
appreciated it for what it was and what it came out for. They like it because it's Kanye. It'll sell because it's Kanye.
Vil, how could you be so heartless?
Good pun.
Maybe I'm just a
The song.
monster.
Had to do it to him. I'm a monster.
Maybe I'm just a
But that's what I'm
monster.
saying. It wasn't like the normal rap album. This thing had emotion to it.
Maybe
This
I'm
thing
just
had
following
some-
the waves. You know, I was bound to.
Wow, they're dropping.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
How low can you go, or how long can you go?
I do Kanye puns all day.
But anyway, okay.
He drove
This
30 hours.
See what you did there.
After those 30 hours, there was no more parties in LA after that, you know?
All right, I think
We're done.
I think we're good.
But like I said, no one really. I didn't appreciate it for then the way it came out. I thought, oh, this is a pretty good album. I could listen to this. But now listen to it over the years and understanding like this dude went through some pain. This dude went through some some loss. He was feeling heartbreak, emotional. To try a different type of music at the same time he was going through all of that was just mind blowing. And a lot of it was written by Kanye. There's an orchestra intro in the very same
Alright, go on.
not so much orchestra, but a choir orchestra mix in the very first song, "Say You Will." The humming that sounds like a choir, it actually is a choir. Kanye West recorded that, and just like I said, the first 15-20 seconds alone are an introduction to what you can expand and do as an artist, and that's what I think Kanye did.
Here's where I have to talk about just the whole album as in general. And you talk about like he poured his heart in this and stuff like that, and I even said it. He recorded this album in a month.
It's quick.
Wow.
Yo,
That's real known.
That
September to October, dropped it in
completely
November.
explains the quality of the album.
Oh my god!
The quality.
So when you say it didn't receive the recognition, I mean, you have to take a step back and say right here what Bass just said. Is it because of the quality of the album? Did you feel like he rushed through it? Yeah, he had his
Here's
emotions
the
and stuff
thing,
and
though.
spit
If
them
he-
on the mic and put them on paper and stuff like that and put them on this album for all of us to hear. But was it done right? Do you think if he gave a little bit more time, this would have got the recognition?
I think if he gave it a little bit more time and didn't rush it, because I mean, obviously to me it's still a great album. I still love it for what it was and for how long he did it. Could it have been better had he put more time into it? Of course, But then again, you got to think as an artist, your entire job is to write music, or as a music artist, a rap artist, your entire job is to write music. So when you're off time, you probably got, like right now, let's just say, do you got any raps written that you've had for the years?
I got a couple.
How long would it take you to record that?
I mean,
I get what you're saying.
But you've had them already. You know what I mean? Like if you play guitar and you're in a band and you've been writing riffs on the road, and then you go into record and you're like, hey guys, I got all these songs I've been working on. Check them out.
but then that takes the whole different perspective of this album. This album wasn't written because he lost his brother. This album wasn't written because the engagement was ended between him and was it Alexis Fife or something?
What if he was never able to put a lot of this emotion that he's been through his entire life, as opposed to just that time, because he's been writing it over time, and the music he's written before, like not lyrically but musically, did not fit how he wanted that to go with those words.
So then you call this album a fake then?
I don't call this album a fake. It could just be a collection of his emotional lyrics and his emotional, a way to write music.
And the reason I'm not saying it, like you're calling this album a fake, but I'm saying you have to say that the way he marketed this album, he lied, because he said that this album was written solely off the fact of he lost his mom, he lost his girl.
Exactly. What if he's never been able to put into words, but he's had other words?
So when did he lose his mom before that?
No, I'm not saying before that.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, if he's had lyrics, but that just don't fit, and then he loses his mom, it's like, hey, all this makes sense now. I can put all this into words over the years I've been feeling.
Why you make Ben Friday look like Undertaker?
I'm this is a magic one right here.
That's
I'll find
awesome.
this one. Y'all gonna get.
Oh, you are making look like
I'm really trying to draw this dude right now.
look like Undertaker.
If y'all can see it right now, E is
there will be a post of this
drawing.
somewhere.
Yeah, we'll post about it. E is drawing an Undertaker on the $100 bill where Ben Franklin is.
I'm turning him into the Undertaker.
So, reported on Wikipedia, it took them 3 weeks to record this entire album. So, I mean, obviously recording and writing and, all that stuff, that's a whole different thing. But,
Excuse me.
I feel like, had he put a little bit more time into it, maybe it would have got the recognition it deserved. Because, I mean, filled with auto-tune. Like,
Yeah, I couldn't stand that.
it's all auto-tune.
Oh, what are you doing?
I fucked it up. It's ruined forever.
And,
Y'all never see it.
like, I don't know, like...
You were just like, if you get
To
to
me-
this, it'll be so.
To me, there was a lot on this album that I felt like it lacked, and I felt like,
You ruined so many parts.
Bar Kanye could have actually been put on this album, because
What if that's... Well, I don't think he was going for that, though.
but when you classify yourself as a rapper,
Exactly. That's why I think another reason this album deserves more recognition is because of what was coming out and who was putting it out and who Kanye is. To just try something completely different out of the element that he normally writes in was just mind blowing.
but to say this is his best album, you're out of your fucking mind, plain and simple.
I'm staying. I'm keeping it.
So while he's out of his fucking mind, we'll let him get back to his senses. E, we'll start with you. Favorite track off this album and why?
Man, I got a couple. Just for the most part with this album, for me, I really was just feeling the music itself. I don't relate to it too much, like as far as the lyrics and stuff, because like I'm just not sad, but it's badass tracks. Like the whole album is pretty much a hit. That's why it sold so many copies, as we all know. But my favorite song, I don't know. It could be "Say You Will." It might be "Heartless." Might be "Love Lockdown." I don't know. Like there's just the 808 sound itself is what really is making me like all these songs. So just having it on there, having them in every song, pretty much it's a guarantee for me to be a favorite. But I'm gonna go with "Heartless" probably. That was like the smash hit.
Gotcha. Bass, favorite track off the album?
It would, of course, Heartless and Paranoid. I'm just really feeling that. Heartless, yeah, but whenever I first heard this whole album, I was like, man, what the fuck? Like whenever it first came out, I was like, dude, this is bullshit compared to like others, like old Kanye. Like
Yeah.
I used to listen to, and then he came back, hard, and I was like, all right, this is Kanye. And then this album was fixed, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back. I'm older, I might see it in a different light. Which a couple songs I did, and I was like, all right, you know what? I slept on
Like which ones, for example?
the ones I just named.
Okay.
Heartless, like before, like it was kind of like whatever. I was like, and then I listened to it later, and I was like, all right, I connect with a couple of the things in there, but it was just like really good song. And then Paranoid was like real cool to drive to. I was like feeling that. And then there's a couple, like the music's pretty good, but it's just like no lyrics in pretty much the whole album. It just feels like a bunch of interludes or like hooks he kind of just wanted to toss in there. He was like,
I feel you on that.
so I was just like, it was just like a pretty boring album, except for a couple, like those couple songs. Maybe like a couple other, I don't really remember right now, but for the most part, it was just like interludes.
Charles, favorite track off the album?
I don't have to go with the intro track, Say You Will. I love the way it starts out with the synth and the choir. It goes straight into it with the beat, and then you just hear it repeatedly. It just does not stop. And then there's just times where Kanye stops rapping for like maybe an entire minute and a half and just lets the sample play for the next minute and a half, and then it comes back through again, and then it just dies out. I don't know. To me, that's just for someone who's exploring a new creative side of himself. That kind of intro track, straight up, just did it. You know. That's my favorite.
My favorite track off the album was the freestyle from Singapore, Pinocchio Story, the last track on the album, and I feel like that was more because to me that was Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that was bars Kanye with feelings Kanye. You know, and then you just hear the roar of the crowd just enjoying Kanye. You know,
I'm a big fan of like live tracks, live albums. So I agree with you on that. Like that shit was a bomb.
Then, like I said, to me, it's up there. You know, I like, you know, Amazing. I think, but simply because of Jeezy.
Jeezy, yeah.
I like See You in My Nightmares, but I think it's simply because of Wayne. You know,
it's not Kanye getting you.
but to me, I could see why this album is real lackluster to me. You know, it's the same thing that Bass said. You know, listening to it at a young age, none of this really connects with you. You're not really like, oh, man, I feel this, and none of these are bangers. None of this is like any head knockers or anything like that. And then going back and listening to an adult, I'm still feeling the same way. Like, I understand the feeling a little bit more because I've been through some of the shit that he's been through during this album, but I'm still not like, this really makes me think, or this really makes me feel. To me, it's just another Kanye album, you know, but one of my least favorites. So, that being said, least favorite track off the album.
I think it's gonna be RoboCop. There's something about that track. I'm skipping it pretty much every time.
He's a RoboCop.
Mm-hmm.
Just not feeling it. But there was a time where I used to skip that freestyle all the time too. I would never listen to it. So I'll say that too. I mean, I don't know what it is. I guess because I would always I would listen to this album a lot with like big headphones because it was so bassy all the time. And just whenever it gets to that, the crowd noise is so fucking loud. I think I'm always just ready to skip it. Go back to the beginning.
Oh wait, you kept it?
No, I did.
Oh, you redid it? Oh, okay. I was about to say. I thought you. Alright,
I
cool.
crumpled it up.
Bass, least favorite track off the album.
That's $100. Least favorite? Fuck. What was it? Hold on. I forgot the name of it. Oh,
Let me
there
look
we
at the
go.
notes here.
Bad News. It was
Yeah, that's a good one too.
I can see it. Your personality says that.
Your horoscope. It's just
Your sign just does not like that song.
You must be a Capricorn.
It was too much auto-tune, man. Like, I'm not a real big fan of auto-tune. And some auto-tune can slide, like, Travis Scott gets away with me because, you know, it's a cool, different way of doing it. But, like, I don't know. Auto-tune doesn't do it for me.
Travis Scott's a bomb though, man.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, some people get away with it. Like yeah, because he sounds different.
I got something to say about that.
But
About Travis Scott? Oh god.
But no, just we'll talk about it here in a minute. So
for this life, I cannot live.
Don't look, but we're gonna talk about it.
I forgot what I was saying,
Don't
but
look now.
I don't know. Like the auto tune was just killing me in it, and then it's not a banger. Like the album's not a banger, so I was like, all right, but it came with the open mind. And I still like some of the songs, like, you know, they're slow, and I like a lot of slow songs. It just kind of you gotta have something there for me, you know, to keep me there. And it just kind of was like auto tune after auto tune. I was just like, skip. Even though I've listened to it the whole time.
oh yeah,
I mean the whole thing a few times. But yeah.
Mark, least favorite track off the album.
RoboCop. I didn't like the way it started out. I didn't like the way it carried. I couldn't finish it. Every time I'll skip it. Just knowing that. It's the only one I don't like, really. I mean, I could deal with the auto-tune on Bad News, and then... I mean... I like Amazing for Jeezy.
Don't listen to that before noon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't listen before noon.
No Jeezy
It
before
has
noon.
Jeezy in it, so... But yeah, RoboCop. It just doesn't go for me.
I'm gonna agree with y'all on RoboCop, but that's not my least favorite track. My least favorite track is gonna be Coldest Winter. Yeah, it just
good.
to me. And I feel like, coming from seeing it might just be placement of the track. It might have sounded really good maybe after Say You Will or something like Love Lockdown or something, or maybe before RoboCop. But between Seeing My Nightmares and Pinocchio Story, like, had he ended it on Coldest Winter and not done Pinocchio Story, cool. That'd probably been all right with the track.
That's freestyle on there.
That freestyle kills it, second longest track on the album. To me, it's what's up.
Before we move on, when you said Coldest Winter and it be a rearranged, I just want to get on this hype on this because I want to know if y'all agree or not. Do you think you can make a bad album better if you rearrange the songs in an order you thought was good?
I think placement has a big deal to do with your first impression of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
then it kind of like will sway you from the beginning, but if you listen to the album enough, the placement for me,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Maybe in the beginning you're kind of, you know what I mean?
If you listen to an album,
other than
there's an album you don't like you don't like 21 Savage on that Without Warning.
Oh, you can place it wherever.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Could
you take a bad album and make it better just by arranging the songs and let's do it full through?
Fuck no.
So I guess here's how I see it.
Maybe rearrange artists in there, but
when
take him out and put someone else.
When you listen to albums the way we do, we'll listen to the album when it drops. We'll listen to it from front to back.
Yeah.
I think that's when it matters. But when you're everybody else out in the world, the people who don't, appreciate an entire album or the entire album production or how it's put together and pieced together and stuff like that, I think it really doesn't matter. And it goes back to what Bass says. Maybe you just don't like the artist. Maybe you're not feeling with it. Maybe Ric Flair drips the dopest beat in the world. You're just not an Offset fan. Like
you get that.
Something like that. Or just anything. Maybe Plug Walk was the dopest beat in the world, but man, had Drake done the song, it would have been a better song. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get you on that. I see what you're trying to say.
Like, if you don't feel the artist, you really can't do it. Like,
it's like me saying that Top Off would be better without Beyonce, and then you put another Future verse.
Exactly. There's so much in your mind you can do to an album or a track or something like that, but without it being done or already been done,
yeah.
I mean, you just kind of have to deal with it. But I feel what you're saying. Like, yeah, I think this album still wouldn't have been his best, but it would have been a much better album with rearrangement.
By the way, Future Verse should be the name of Future's next mixtape.
Future Verse?
Mm-hmm.
It actually sounds pretty.
It should be.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds pretty sweet. I like it.
So before we move on to our next topic, E out of 5, not using the metric system because we're still not doing it, not even on this season. You know what? Fuck it. We'll bring it from season 2 just for Bass.
So what is that? What does that mean?
Actually, really not using the metric system.
Yeah, we're not at all. It was
you could do like,
I was drunk at the time, and he was like, "You're doing intervals of 5," and I was like, "We are," but
you can do.
We obviously
call it like
weren't.
3.7 or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So
like,
I can do actual points, not just
Yeah,
0.5s.
exactly.
All right. Out of 5 microphones, or was it 5 flames? Right.
5 flames.
Out of 5
Let's do
flames.
5 microphones.
No, that's too much swagger jacking.
Okay,
Is
fine.
it? Is that a thing?
Who did microphones?
Who does mics?
Man, should I know that? I feel bad because I don't know that.
I don't remember who does it. Someone does it.
Okay, well, anyway, out of 5 flames, I'm going to give it a 3.6.
Gotcha. Bass.
Straight up.
what?
Out of 5 flames, what are you giving this album? 808s and Heartbreaks.
Give it a 2.5.
Wow, with the low. Charles, out of 5 flames.
Out of 5 flames?
What are you giving 808s and Heartbreaks?
Damn, you're gonna hit me. This is gonna be my highest rated one.
A 4.8.
4.5.
What the fuck,
Oh shit! That's hitting that high pitch. Fuck.
dude?
I'm hitting a 4.5.
You're.
I like how I gave Bass the metric system for this one, and you're the only person who gave it like a 0.6.
Yeah.
Bass still hit it with a 0.5.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
I wanted to show that some people enjoy the metric system as much as I do.
I'm gonna have to give this one maybe a 3. Not my favorite, you know.
Yeah, I get you.
I feel you.
Oh, wrong button.
I feel you big time.
Love when that happens.
So, on average, this album has been rated a 3.4 by the Knights of the Round Records. If I had one of those cool little beat machines, it'd be like a boom, like stamp of approval or some shit.
I get you.
But
Bang! Bit boop bop.
bit boop bop.
That could be the new soundbite.
That's it.
That's the next drop.
We're gonna play this one. So here's what I want to talk about next before we start picking out next albums or anything like that. For a while, we're not gonna do an underground artist of the week because ain't nobody sending us shit. So
It's facts.
So that's on y'all.
E's gonna have to get heavy on Twitter again with that, and y'all just gonna have to send him some heavy shit on Twitter as well because without y'all sending us anything, we ain't got nothing. You know, I mean, yeah, we listen to underground artists as they drop and stuff like that, but God,
in order to get them, in order to do something with it on the show is a little difficult without y'all sending us anything.
Yeah, you know, I can call out somebody else again. You know, bring Aunt Zilla in the studio again. I mean, y'all want to hear Michael White's creaky ass in the studio again? Obviously not. You know, want some new shit. You know, so send us some stuff. At Ealeman 512. That's you spell it E. I don't know how to spell your last name.
EALEMAN 512. That's it.
We still are down to have Zilla and people we've had in the past before, but obviously I want to hear all sorts of stuff. So.
Yeah, man. I would love to have Party Babylon and James up in the studio again. Would love to have Illa in the studio again. You know, I would love to bring Wise down, you know, from San Antonio to come jam out with us, you know, kick it with us for a minute. But we want to talk about new artists we haven't already talked about in the past. These are our boys. We appreciate what they do. We enjoy their music. We support them the fullest. But we want to do that with y'all too. And with y'all not being able to send us shit, you know, we can't do it. So we're going to move on from there and not talk about underground artists this week. But there's something I want to talk about. So Funkmaster Flex.
Oh, God.
Went on Twitter the other day.
Oh, man, I think I know where you're going with this.
That's exactly where he's going with it.
And said that Travis Scott jacked A$AP Rocky's style. Now, before he said that, he put out there, y'all need to quit jacking A$AP style. And then, with all his followers that give a shit what he says, he quoted himself on Twitter and said, "Oh, you want names?"
You showed that to me yesterday.
And he said, Travis Scott. And then that was that. So I want to talk about this real quick. Do you feel that A$AP Rocky and Travis Scott have a similar style? And if so, were they stolen from either one?
Well, I'll say one thing.
They stole it from the South.
Well, if that's the case,
Who the fuck's the South then?
If that's the case, then they stole it from Travis Scott because Travis is out the H.
No. I mean, A$AP Mob stole like Houston swag and stuff. But yeah, he's saying he stole it from him. But my bad, I'll cut him off. My bad.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
But he's actually from Texas, the South, where it originated. Flex doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, man.
His old decrepit ass ain't done nothing.
It pisses me off, like when people are freestyling for him, because he doesn't fucking talk to them. He'll say a couple things before and after, and that's it. Have them freestyle, kill it, and he'll act like ununimpressed by it. Like,
that's notorious for that.
Pisses me off. Like you're a fan of hip hop. Oh,
with Sci-Highs, he did nothing. With the hoodies, but I'll give the hoodies this because the hoodies are still fire. But only because the hoodies had the internet hype, he was like, you know, y'all can't see what I'm doing, but he was like head bobbing and knocking with it, rocking with it and stuff like that.
He like dick rides people that he's afraid of.
But then, you know, like I said, then Sci-Hi came on and he just kind of ignored it. And then Lil Boat came on. Lil Boat's a terrible freestyler. Like,
facts, that is true. I hate to say that because I like Lil Boat, but man, yeah, he cannot go off top.
And then, you know, he was like, "Oh yeah, no."
Like Bass said, just dick riding basically.
Yeah, if you have a huge following and you're gonna get him a couple extra listens, then he's fucking riding your dick and stuff like that. So let's start with E. Who's swagger jacking whose styles? Are they jacking each other's styles? What's going on with hip hop? How do you feel about it?
I'm not sure if they're jacking each other's style exactly. But I will say that they do have a similar style. I think that that's kind of like the wave right now. Everybody's wearing Adidas shit. Everybody's wearing all this hypebeast shit. So for anybody to say that they're jacking a style is them admitting that they jacked the style themselves, because everybody dresses the same fucking way in hip hop right now. Or I feel that. Musically, I don't think it's the same. I think they are both two different entities, but they did fuck the same bitch. So I'll say that.
But in hip hop, everybody's fucking same bitches. You know?
Word.
Bass, who's jacking whose style if they're jacking at all.
Yeah, like he said, like they're not jacking each other's style, other than they have the same braids and they wear a couple of the same stuff. Like I don't really think it's jacking their style. But if they did,
they all wear
exactly.
those fucking Balenciaga kicks. And they all wear the same Adidas jumpsuit.
Yeah, and that's been going on for a hot minute. Like,
people
I don't think they're really stealing any
since Dude, Where's My Car? You know?
Yeah, like I don't really think it. Like fucking Run DMC was wearing jumpsuits before all of them. Like, that's it's been going on forever. It's not really, other than like a few brands and stuff. Like, I think it was just like an irrelevant thing to even say. Like, he has nothing else to talk about. Like he doesn't even talk during his fucking when he has people on, and then he says some stupid shit like that.
It's like
that shit's so fucking annoying. Yeah,
like Trippie Redd versus fucking 6ix9ine. Like they look exactly the same to me. But they're two different people. So
yeah, but like music-wise, they're completely different, obviously. Yeah. And if that's what he's talking about, he's a fucking idiot. But I mean, I don't think he's talking about that. I think he's just talking about like their appearance-wise. But
because other than look alike,
they do look alike. But I mean, so fuck what, whatever. Like cares, they're not making the same fucking music. It's not like they're biting their whole fucking style or whatever. You know, maybe like the way braids look and be like, I want to rock some braids too. Like
think about braiding my hair.
Fuck it, why not?
Right.
Charles,
I'm about to give this Benjamin Franklin some braids. I'm gonna give him some Travis Scott braids.
The entire internet thinks so too.
Man, that's just a publicity pose right there, man.
Yo, that's just a way though, because Uzi got the braids, Yachty got the braids, Trippie got the braids.
Yeah,
like who's not rocking braids these days? Quavo was rocking braids. Offset was rocking braids.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it really fucking matters. Like, if you like like whatever you like the way it looks, like, all right, look. If you like the way someone like shoes, it'd be like, all right, those are sick. You know, like I never seen them before. Like I want a pair.
Anything,
you know, like
if anything, they're all biting Riff Raff because Riff Raff was doing braids 10, 15 years ago.
Right. I was like, that's a hard stretch, but.
It's a little reach, but
that was a reach.
I get what you're trying to say.
I get you.
Aquaberry Canary, man, the neon python.
But he was rocking braids before all of them started rapping, so that is fucking hilarious.
Peach Panther, man.
Yeah, for real.
And the Icy Grill with a million different colors.
The Aquaberry Diamonds, man. Yeah. It's all about that.
Hey, I fuck with Raph.
I know. I still like Raph, man.
I fucking love Raph.
Before we end this conversation, Charles, do you think they're biting each other's style?
No, man, because I'm literally sitting across from Eric right now, and I had a haircut that looked just like his.
And you bit his Bitmoji.
Swagger tagged me for sure.
And then our Bitmojis look the exact fucking same, except one was taller. You can tell. But no, honestly, I think Flex was just trying to stay relevant. How are you gonna quote yourself? You know, it's on Twitter if you had some relevancy, you know. But I think he's just trying to stay relevant and just bark at two of the hottest in the game right now. So
hashtag all facts be. All right, so let's get this wheel spun. We ain't done this in a hot minute.
Too bad Pooh ain't here.
R.I.P.
Where's the button? There's the button. Y'all got the button? Who's got this button? I got this button right here.
I got the bag.
Secured the bag. He did secure the bag today.
I did.
He snagged the pizza.
All right, guys. We're gonna spin this wheel. Whoever lands on is gonna pick the next album. So you ready? Ready to do this?
Okay. It's me. You might as well just give it to me.
I feel like it is gonna be you too, dude.
It's gonna be the three of y'all. So
it's me. It's my time.
I really want to get picked when this one album drops.
You have to say it's me.
Yo, look how close it was.
Well, he's not here.
Why is he in there? Can you take him out?
I can, but
it's
I just leave it in there.
5, yeah.
So it landed on Pooh. Pooh right here. It was super close to landing on.
Oh yeah, okay. I guess that is because that was a 5.
So spin this motherfucker again.
Get a redo.
It's gonna land on me next.
It is
just
gonna land on
the
you.
universe gotta be Pooh. They gotta be me.
It's your boy.
Everybody.
Fuck your boy.
Man, what do I want us to listen to? What do I want us to listen to? What are y'all feeling, guys?
Let's go old school.
We do something old school.
Take back 90s.
I'm down with that.
Nah, you know what? We're not gonna.
I'm feeling 2000, late 2000s.
You're so 2000 and late.
all right, Black Eyed Peas.
I think
Oh, here it comes. The anticipation. Yeah,
It's dead air.
That was dead air for a second.
R.I.P. the air.
Our listeners gonna be like, "The fuck?"
R.I.P. to the
shit.
air.
Let's do this.
Let's do something.
It's gonna do something real different.
Wait, he's gonna pick a collab tape,
I'm not picking a collab tape.
a mixtape.
Not picking a mixtape.
God damn it!
A cozy tape.
You're
Nah.
picking
He's dropping the weekend.
the Knicks tip.
We're gonna do the deluxe edition of The Family Sign by Atmosphere, dropped in 2011. So we're gonna kick it back a little bit. We're gonna listen to some
With a
Atmosphere.
good old score. Considered.
What do you mean old school? Slug and Ant still dropping music.
That was like
I don't
6
know.
years ago, 7
Not
years ago.
not the album. I'm just saying.
Oh.
The artists aren't old
For
school
me,
either.
for me, they're one of the cores.
But anyway, there's some really good tracks on this.
You can tell we have
Millennium Dodo, Last to Say, She's Enough. I mean, there's a whole bunch of tracks on here we're gonna have some good talks about.
Good talk.
So I don't know if we're gonna have another episode out but by the time we go to Austin, we're trying to drop another episode next week.
Yeah, what if we did one during Austin?
So that's what I was thinking. We might do an episode up there, but it's either gonna have to be really early in the day at the hotel, or super late at night when we're drunk as fuck.
Oh, hey, could we mash two together or no? Or it's only like one recording. Like, what if we did pre-show and then we did hungover show and put them
Hungover?
together? You know what I mean? Like, it'd just be like,
With the glasses on.
Be a ton of recording.
yeah,
but
and
Last night was mad real.
that's goddamn
Yeah.
right.
need some Advil.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna figure this out.
That would be pretty saucy.
We probably won't drop one. We'll drop one this week, obviously. This is going to come out tonight, which is the 4th, maybe on the 5th. It might, depending on your time zone and whatnot. You might not get another one, guys, until maybe the 14th or 15th. We'll pump one out for y'all. And then your boy's on vacation the whole next week after that, so we'll find a day to do another
Me too.
episode
Wait,
that week.
you had the same vacation as me?
Look at this.
16th through... Damn, that's my exact vacation.
I don't know how I picked it,
You
why
thought
I
of
picked
me.
it, but I did. I sure did. Some shit's going on that last weekend, that first weekend. I got the whole week to do absolutely nothing. I'm not going to wear underwear that week, gentlemen.
I'm not wearing underwear now.
Same. So let's
What's underwear?
Yo, wild.
so let's end this off with
Y'all motherfuckers wild.
with a good sign off from all of us. I'm gonna let each and every one of them do their own little sign out, unlike last season, we're each gonna say a little something. Shouts to Pooh. Wish you could be here, bro.
Miss you.
We miss you. Hope you're here for the next episode. I'm sure you will be, because we'll be all up in the A together.
Come home soon.
And bring milk. E, sign them out.
All right. Well, you already know what's up. Just hit me up with all your underground songs, man. I need to hear from y'all. So if you're trying to be on the spotlight, let me know something. Hit me up on my Twitter. That's EALEMAN 512. Just hit me up.
Bash, show 'em love.
Yo, it's your boy. No, I'm just kidding. No,
You
yeah,
already
definitely
know.
show us some love. You know, repost all our stuff, like it, tell your friends about it. Eric was like getting flooded with music, and we were picking them for like underground artists from there, and y'all stopped doing that. So y'all really need to do that. If y'all don't make music, but y'all know people that put music out and that make good music, definitely hit us up, man. Like, send it to us, tweet us, message us, whatever, man. Get the word out, and I don't know, maybe you'll end up blowing up from or getting on to someone that we talked about that we know, and we can hook y'all up, you know, or something, man. We want to hear new music, and that's a good way to do it.
Charles, sign them out.
Keep making music, guys. Especially you local artists. You know, because eventually you will be the future, and then you will be up there with whoever it is we're gonna pick on next week's album. So, if you want to make music, make music. That's all I gotta say. Hit us up next time.
It's your boy VillosaurusWrex. Give a quick shout out and some positive vibes out to the homie Truvas over the pond over there.
for
Not
real.
sure what's going on with you, brother, but I hope all is well. Mark sucks. Hashtag Mark sucks.
What the fuck?
Hashtag positive vibe for Truvas. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all keep it real. Y'all keep posting music. Y'all keep loving hip hop. We'll do the same. Peace.